we got to look at the guys from last season now. So last season, Stephen Castle was the rookie of the year, and I think rightly so. So I built this dashboard here for you guys to see exactly how the stats break down. Now, I put everything together to show top scorers, 3-point percentage for players, the top rebounders, top assist makers, and a few stats that I think are pretty useful to show how efficient a player can be, how good that they are, and potentially how they can progress going forward. Now, for the last year's players, Stephen Castle was the best one. He definitely deserved to win, especially when looking at some of the other players. Now, I mean, in scoring, he's the top scorer with over 1,100 points. And like when you look at the fact that Zachary Risachet is the second with 942, and then Alex Sarr with 869, which I actually was pretty surprised about. Even my Kyle Filipowski there was at 690. I thought it was pretty interesting. But when you look at it all, Stephen Castle there, good three. I mean, I think he's an okay 3-point shooter, but when you look at this draft class, like he was there, like in the top 10, Stephen Castle, for being one of the premier and one for the rising stars this past season. And I expect him to continue to having a season like this coming season, if he gets games. You know, when it comes to looking at what he was able to produce, rebounders 297 throughout the whole of last season. Then even in assists, like he was third with 332 assists. Only Bob Carrington and Isaiah Collier managed to get more assists than him. So I really like what Stephen Castle could do. Average 14.7 points per game, four assists a game, and even his turnovers were low, at least in comparison to like other players. You know, you look at someone like Isaiah Collier, when looking at his assists, when looking at his turnovers, his was 2.9 in comparison to 2.2. That's just a good all-round performance from Stephen Castle. Zachary Risachet, I thought he had a good EuroLeague, and I talked about him on my YouTube shorts. But I think he's one of them players that, again, he needs more time, more experience. Is he going to be able to get that with the Hawks? I still think he'll be able to get near to what he was getting last season, so I expect that. Then you've got Alex Sarr there again, who I felt also had a good EuroLeague there with France. I expect him to also have a good season this coming season. He was third highest top scorer out of all the rookies from last season. Jalen Wells there, I felt also had a good season too. You look to see where they are in all the other categories here. Like that's where you want them to be. Bob Carrington, I know that Wizards fans really believe in him, and I think they're rightly to do so, especially looking at how he's performed in all the other categories. Dalton Connect, I feel sorry for this guy. Gotta say, I feel sorry for Dalton Connect. And the reason why everybody knows this, that Dalton Connect started off a season so well. So well. He was someone that I think a lot of people thought was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year, and that was going to be pretty easy. And then when you hear his story about how he really had to work some more just to get to where he was just incredible. But unfortunately, the Los Angeles Lakers decided to trade him. The trade didn't go through, and then because they pulled it, and then he comes back to the Lakers, and then everything basically drops. And now I saw him at Summer League, and I thought for a second year player, I thought Dalton Connect was not great, to say the least. Like I didn't think he was good at all. And I hope he's a player that gets traded. Not just for the Lakers, but for him. He's someone that, I mean, like, I could never speak as a player, but I could just speak as a person. You have a situation whereby someone doesn't want you. Let's say you get fired from your job, because that's basically what happened. You got fired from your job, and then they say, whoa, 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 we want you back. No, 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 come back. Please come back. And then he has to go back because he's got bills to pay. That's what happened to Dalton Connect this last season. He doesn't look right. He is someone he needs to get traded. By the grace of God, I hope he gets traded because he needs to go anywhere, anywhere in the NBA. He needs to go to. He's got great size on him. I think he shoots the three ball pretty well. His biggest thing, I think, is driving to the basket and actually scoring at the rim. I think he could be better at that. But I think overall as a player, I do like him. I like Dalton. And looking at those numbers there, I like it. Like, you have to put context into it. Like 0.8 assists, like that's not good. Okay, turnovers are down. Like 0.5 turnovers per game. I like that. Assist to turnover ratio, like I think that's pretty good. Rebounds to be game, I think 2.8 is pretty fair. Free throw percentage, I think, is pretty fair. And his 3-point percentage, I think, is approaching average for an NBA standard. So I hope he gets in a better situation, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I hope so. Fingers crossed. Yeah, praying for you, Dalton Connect. Then there's my guy, Kyle Filipowski. I really like Kyle Filipowski. If you didn't know, I'm a Utah Jazz. Did you know that? I really like Kyle Filipowski. Kyle Filipowski was one of the shining gems of this past season, particularly for the Utah Jazz. Kyle Filipowski, when I first saw him in Summer League, I looked at him and I thought, this guy looks so nervous. He looks like a deer looking down a set of headlights on like a long highway. It was like everything just went whoosh, just went completely past him. But as the season went on, as we got past Summer League, that's why I say when I went through the list of all the rookies, Summer League is one thing, but when you start in the league, that's what matters. And when Kyle Filipowski started in the league, he looked really good. Really, really good. I liked the fact that he could score, which is what you could see there, 690 points. Like, yes, he is a ton of games, a ton of points behind Stephen Castle. He can shoot the three. He rebounds. And he creates. He gives you everything you would want in a player. He is probably one of the brightest spots, if you are a Utah Jazz fan, you possibly could ask for. And I honestly mean that. It's like, it doesn't get any better than this. Well, I mean, it does get any better than this. His name is Ace Bailey. But I'm saying this, that Kyle Filipowski is nice. He is nice. I really like Kyle Filipowski. I expect a lot from him. I think that he's going to get similar number of games as what he got last season. He will get similar number of, well, Yeah, he's going to get similar number of games. He's probably going to be used as a rotation player more, but we'll see. I think he'll definitely get more minutes than what he got last season for sure. But now Lowry is going to be back. We got to see what happens there. You got Matas Bozelius. I thought he was pretty good all around. Looking at where he kind of stacks up in all the kind of major stats, like he's a scorer and he shoots a three. Nothing wrong with that. What this tells me, what the stats are telling me is how is he going to expand his game? He's there at 278 for rebounds. There's a few guys there that are ahead of him, including Stephon Castle. Like, yeah, it's not bad. He's just outside the kind of top 10. And then where is he is on assists? Yeah, he's pretty down there in terms of assists. Yeah, pretty down there. But I think Matas Brazilius is a good player. I think there's a lot that he could continue to develop. My guess is that he's going to be more into the starting lineup this coming season. I'm no Chicago Bulls expert, but the games that I do see and the games that I did see from him last season, I really liked. And from what I see from Chicago Bulls fans online, I think they really liked him. And you can see from the numbers there, not bad, not bad at all. Yves Missi, I thought he had a really good summer league. I really liked what he showed. Again, scoring wise, very good. Where is he on the threes? Yeah, there's no threes from him. There's no three. Where is he on the rebounds? I expect him to be pretty good at the rebounds. Did I miss Missi? Oh no, he's number one. How did I miss that? He's number one. One on rebounds. And then when it comes to assists, he's pretty good position for assists. So not only does he give you points, he rebounds and he gives you assists. Good solid player all around. What is he going to do this season for the Pelicans? Again, I think with the guys that the Pelicans drafted, I still think he's going to give you more of the same of what he gave you this past season. I think the only way that his progression derails is going to be dependent on how he's able to kind of stay healthy. But I think for the most part, you're gonna see the same from Yves Missi. I think the one thing you would have liked to see, like when you have a big, at least unfortunately now, without a game is played, this column here, this 3-point percentage column, like this can't be zero. And I know that as a Utah Jazz fan, we've got Walker Kessler, but we can't. No, we can't just not have you shooting threes. You got to do something here. I got to say that. Then you got Isaiah Collier there, 615 points, played 71 games, 8.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game. Very impressive. Did you know that I'm a Jazz fan? If I haven't said it already. I really loved Isaiah Collier. Really love what he can do. Great vision on the court. Good understanding of the game. Love his passing. The athleticism was crazy this past season. Really love what he can do in terms of driving to the basket. Needs a lot of work though when it comes to shooting in general. And I'm not trying to get away from that, but look at this stat here. Free throws, 68%, that's unacceptable from him. Because that 29% here, that's the biggest problem. So at 24.9%, this is the problem that he's going to have. Because he's not a good free-point shooter, this has to be high. The free throws have to be high. Field goal percentage, that's going to have to improve a little bit, but the free throws and the three-point percentage has to improve. Once he does that, then we can kind of see. Zach Edey, drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies, plays a center, tall. I think he's 7'4", 7'5". Now, Zach Edey, I thought a lot of people before the draft said that he wasn't going to be the player that we all saw and didn't think he would be able to do much. But I think that what we saw from Zach Edey was that he's a good player. He has limitations, yes, like most players, he has limitations. Obviously, we know that when it came to blocking, rebounding, you see the rebounds here. He's the second when it comes to rookie rebounds in his draft class at 548. Like we see that 8.3 rebounds per game. Even his 3-point percentage, I would have to say, is pretty good. And I saw him shoot a lot of threes. And because everybody just naturally assumed he couldn't shoot threes, they just gave him an open way just to go out there and shoot threes. And he wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. 58% from the fields, which is I think is pretty decent, and 70% for free throws. So I like what he can give. I know he had some injuries throughout the season, but I thought it was pretty decent for what he can do. But where was he in assists? 65 assists overall. 3 points, 18 3 points. So not great, but not bad. So these were like the top scorers and what they could do. Like, I like these guys. The guys that I talked about in their rookie year, I think that they're going to continue to do well. Stephon Castle, Zachary Sachet, Saw, all of these guys here are going to be able to do well this next season. Now, looking at some other metrics and how they're going to do. Let's look at last season properly. So I use this table to look at last season, but also to look at the player efficiency rating for some of these players, because I think that's going to be key to whether how they perform in games and where they kind of stack up to other players as well. So I'm just looking at the draft year, and you're looking at guys like, let's say, Donovan Clingan was the most efficient player last season. According to all the stats and numbers, looking at the player efficiency rating, that's Donovan Mitchell, the most efficient player. And there's reasons behind that. Like, you do have to use context with this, in that he plays as a big. There's certain things there that his team are going to ask him to do that they wouldn't ask other players to do. So guys like Zach Edey, Donovan Clingan, Kel'el Ware, these are all centers. And they're all going to have similar issues. They're all like their PEIs all around the same. Kel'el Ware there, similar. He's at 19.4. Bobby Clintman, he's the first one out of there, but how many games did Bobby Clintman actually play? Not many games. You got Adam Bonner there, who I also really liked in the EuroLeague. But again, Adam Bonner didn't play that many games. But let's look at a few other players there from last year's draft. So I started with kind of the top scorers, but I'll kind of go through some of the other notable players. Reed Shepard's with Houston. I think I just hope he gets games. Ron Holland III. I thought he had a good playoffs. Again, good defensive performance from him. You had Rob Dillingham. Didn't get a lot of games, unfortunately, but I think it's still a good player. Cody Williams, they're drafted at number 10. I'll be getting into in a short while when I talk about the Utah Jazz, but not a great season. Probably the worst season that a rookie could have in the NBA. Devin Carter there, drafted at number 13th last season, injured for like half the season, so it's kind of difficult to really evaluate him. Then you had Tristan da Silva, who had a very good uh, EuroLeague. Tristan da Silva, I really, really enjoyed last season. Didn't get a lot of games for the Magic last season, which kind of throws his numbers off. But drafted number 18. But when you look at the minutes per game, what he's doing in the games, really good player, really good player. And from what I saw from what he did at EuroLeague, if he could translate that to the Orlando Magic next season, as long as they give him opportunities, that's really going to be the key thing. Like how many games is he going to get? How many minutes is he going to play? Like last season he played 74, like which is a good number of minutes, but how are they using him? But if he can put that performance from EuroLeague for the Magic this coming season, he definitely could do a lot more. Then you got the likes of Jacoby Walter, with Toronto. I thought he was decent, good. Loved his defense, Jacoby Walter, this past season. Then you got Jalen Tyson. Want to see more from him. Deron Holmes. We didn't see much from him. AJ Johnson there. He got drafted number 23. Got traded to the Wizards near the end of last season from the Milwaukee Bucks. Then you had Keyshawn George also with Washington Wizards. I thought he was a bit rocky at first, but ended the season pretty well, in my opinion. Pacom Dadier, project player. Dylan Jones, number 26. He got traded to, I think he's with the Wizards now, if I believe. Terrence Shannon Jr., I expect a lot from him. He's going to be in the rotation. Then there's Ryan Dunn at Phoenix at 28. I expect a lot from him. Let's actually see what happened to Ryan Dunn this past season. Ryan Dunn, like again, similar to Tristan da Silva, thought he had an okay season. Like in earlier on, not so much, but then kind of finished the season pretty strongly. Played 74 games. Overall, like they've got him as a below average when it comes to efficiency. Again, you have to look at like his role in the team, and his role of the team is pretty sporadic. But this seeing where things are, is he going to end up being an all-star one day? Maybe not. But when you look at his minutes compared to like rebounds and what he's doing within that time, it's okay. Like it's okay. So he's about average, like overall, and I expect him to have a similar season this season, especially when you factor in all the competition that he's going to have. Then you got Kyle Filipowski, who I've talked about. Tyler Smith, we haven't seen much of him with the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyler Kolek, we can talk about Tyler Kolek. I like Tyler Kolek for what he did with the New York Knicks. Didn't get a lot of games for the Knicks. Played 41 games. I know he got some games or got some runouts in the playoffs. But again, it's one of those situations where, again, guys just need games. Like 7 minutes per game. Just it's not enough for a guy that plays as a point guard. If he could get more games, he could be something. 2 points per game. Yeah, again, play efficiency rating is low, and because of that, but like, what are you supposed to do with just 7 minutes per game? So that's one of those things where I hope that he does get more games this season. I mean, obviously, when you got Brunson there, who is the star, you just kind of never know. But let's see what happens with Tyler Kolek, who did one. Johnny Furphy. Let's talk about Johnny Furphy. Let's see what he has. He was drafted just after. Johnny Furphy. Johnny Furphy again, another situation with him, just not that many minutes to really kind of speak of. And you kind of expect this now, where kind of in the second round here, like a lot of guys just aren't getting anything minutes. But with the amount of changes that the Pacers have had, you kind of expect him to get some games. So I'd be expecting Johnny Furphy to get a bit more. Then you've got like Juan Nunez. I think he's still overseas. Bobby Clintman with Detroit again. Like he's going to continue getting games. AJ Mitchell, OKC. He was one of my favorite players last season. AJ Mitchell. I really liked AJ Mitchell, and even though he only played 36 games last season, also know he had some injuries as well. I definitely expect a lot from him. I expect him to show exactly what he can do. He's a 6'6" point guard that can also play at the two, and he could do a bit of everything. Like the numbers just don't do him justice. Like, yes, that's his player efficiency rating that's got him at like 12.8. And yeah, he averaged 16 points per game and only averaged about 6 points. But when you look at the fact that within that 6 points, he gave you almost 2 rebounds and almost 2 assists with his 6.5 points, like that's not bad. Like, if you've never seen him play, definitely watch him play. He is more on the older side at 23, which is probably why he went in the second round. But he is someone that, if a team needs a point guard that's a big guard, like a Utah Jazz, well, we'll see what happens at the end of this season. Like, he would have been one that I would want. I wanted the Jazz to potentially get him if they weren't going to draft a point guard. This would have been the guy that I would have gotten. Then after that, then with Jalen Wells, he had a good season. I talked about him. Also, Iguodala, I thought he had a good season last season. Adam Bonner, let's look at Adam Bonner a little bit more. I thought he had a really good Eurobasket competition with Turkey. They got him down there as average, played 58 games. I think this is pretty fair. I think you're going to see a lot from Adam Bonner this next season. I think with the amount of minutes that he got 15 minutes a game, 5.4 rebounds, no assists, blocks is his thing. Like, he is a good rim protector. He's going to give you points, and if you shape your offense around getting him the ball, he will give you something. I like Adam Bonner. I expect him to be given more, especially when you look at what he did at Eurobasket. I expect at some point Joel Embiid's going to get injured, and I expect the likes of Adam Bonner and Janai Broom, those who just got drafted, to get some minutes there, and for people to really see what players like him could do. You got KJ Simpson there. I don't know. KJ Simpson. What did he do, KJ Simpson? KJ Simpson, 36 games. He's probably not going to make it. This replacement level, that's what this stands for. This means you're probably not going to make it. And KJ Simpson's not going to make it, is what I'd have to say. He got drafted number 42 there for the Charlotte Hornets. And yeah, I'm not sure about KJ Simpson. I don't think he's going to make it. Then who's other interesting players? Cam Christie. He was one that I had looked at only because his brother got drafted last season, and he was somebody that I looked at as well. So Cam probably needs games, even with the limited amount of games that he played. Like, for him to still be given a player efficiency rating of 12.9, I think is pretty decent. 4 minutes a game, though, just isn't enough. There just isn't much that he could do. Like, a lot of these guys near the end of the draft, they just don't get a lot of minutes. So Cam is one of them. One guy who was near the end of the draft, who I do think is going to get minutes, is Quentin Post. He's with the Golden State Warriors. He gets a lot of minutes just because of his size. Uh, I think this is probably a steal for the 52nd pick. I expect him to get games. They don't have many big, like they have bigs, but guys that are his height that are 7 foot plus. They don't have a lot of those. And Quinton Post, I think it will continue to kind of get games for them. 8 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and an assist as well. On top of the minutes that he's getting, I think like he's had a pretty good solid career so far. Let's look at the number 55th pick, Bronny James, and see how he did because I took Bronny James at the replacement level. So I think when I first saw Bronny James play at Summer League last year, I no, well, when I saw him play in the NBA, I I thought he was okay. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was ready. But as the season went on, like he looked better. Still, when looking at everything overall, again, you have to use context with this. The Lakers don't really like playing youngsters, and Bronny James is not an exempt from that. And that's why he's coming out as he's at a replacement level. Only managed 6.7 minutes per game, but with 6.7 minutes to you still giving him 2.3 points. You probably got to do something with this. Like I'm going to put Bronny close to being average, but he probably needs to get more minutes because 6.7 minutes just ain't enough. Yes, he played 27 minutes per game. True shooting percentage is at 42%. Yeah, it's got a long way to go for the baby goat. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does at the end of the season. But that's kind of it in terms of these second year players, and how things might look for them. I do feel that with a lot of them, it's going to count towards games, especially when you look at the guys who are the top most efficient players. So if you're looking at just the last year's draft class for the top efficiency players, I mean, you got Filipowski there, who I'll get to in a second when I give my Utah Jazz thoughts are. Quinton Post is right there. Yves Missi was right there. Alex Saw, Jonathan Mugbo. Again, a lot of these guys, it's really dependent on how many minutes that they get. Harrison Ingram, not sure about him. Yeah, not sure about him. I don't understand why his shooting percentages is like that. Yeah, it's below average. Cam Spencer. Oh, I love Cam Spencer. He's lethal at shooting threes with Memphis. I really like him. Yeah, but a lot of it's going to depend on how many minutes that they get. That's really what it comes down to it, and I truly do believe that it's really going to come down to how many minutes that they play. Will be dependent on how efficient these guys can be. And unfortunately, going from first year to second year, a lot of times you don't see that much improvement. But I'll be keeping tabs on it, and I'll give my opinions and thoughts on it as the season goes on.